Greetings everyone, I'm Kurt. Thanks for coming back. Thanks for tuning into the channel this week. So today, on today's episode, I'm going to be talking about a game I grew an unexpected love for, called Deadly Premonition. Of course, we cannot talk about Deadly Premonition without how Twin Peaks has greatly influenced it. And really, the only reason I even know about Deadly Premonition is because of Twin Peaks. And yes, we can talk about how Deadly Premonition is polarized and whether you love or hate it, and there's really no in between. But really, I want to talk about how I believe that Deadly Premonition, contrary to the Twin Peaks influence, has managed to create its own identity that continues to live on and cultivate its own cult status completely separate from Twin Peaks, and I think that's pretty remarkable. Let's back up a bit. So in 2007, Deadly Premonition was originally known as Rainy Woods. When people saw the trailer, there was such a clear, obvious influence of Twin Peaks all the way to the Red Room, to these small kind of munchkin dwarf-like people, but instead of like it being the man from nowhere in Twin Peaks, it was like these twins of them in the game. And I think Access Games, the original developer, thought they were going to be able to just kind of slide a game out of Japan that was so heavily influenced by Twin Peaks, thinking no one would notice. But of course, it was almost immediate that people reacted to the fact that it is and was Twin Peaks the video game. And rightfully so, Access Games kind of panicked, and I think they were afraid of a lawsuit. So the game was actually delayed from 2008 to 2010 to try and change some things and make it a little bit more not Twin Peaks the game, but I think that was pretty much inevitable no matter what you did. I mean, they changed what the main character model looked like. This was Francis York Morgan before. He doesn't look like Kyle MacLachlan. I don't think he looks like Dale Cooper. If anything, I think this one looks a little bit, I mean, they don't look, I don't think either one of them look like it, so actually scratch that. I don't even know why that was a dilemma, but they changed the character. That's fine. Anyways, so I didn't know about the game at the time. It wasn't until about a few years, maybe 3-4 years ago, that I was talking about Twin Peaks and my obsession with Twin Peaks, and a gamer friend, a knowledgeable gamer friend, asked if I knew about Deadly Premonition, and essentially said it was Twin Peaks the video game. At that moment, it didn't matter. I didn't care what the video game was like. I just knew that I had to have it, period. But what I didn't expect is that I would end up growing the same strange infatuation with Deadly Premonition that I did with Twin Peaks, but for two totally different reasons. And like Twin Peaks, it manages to have this magically bizarre, strange, original, disturbing, hilarious atmosphere and mood, completely stands on its own merits. And though all those things sound like I kind of just described the keywords to describe Twin Peaks, Deadly Premonition still manages to have its own identity. And even those who play the game who know nothing about Twin Peaks, know nothing of its influence, still seem to have this weird pull and want to keep playing it, even though within moments of the game starting, you're like, this is a piece of shit with the fucking, worst controls and shoehorned Resident Evil ripoff mechanics. Like, it's captivating. I can't quite explain it. I try to tell people that its flaws, its bizarre control mechanics and shortcomings in a weird way is what makes the game so charming and so endearing. Not to mention its soundtrack that only consists of what feels like only a few songs that just play over and over and over again, but they're beautiful. I mean, sometimes really inappropriate and sometimes just exactly what needs to be. And then there's that one weird pop punk song. Yeah. Not that one. I think something else that's so remarkable about Deadly Premonition is that it was released really as a budget title and somehow went on to just total cult success that continues to linger in strange ways. Even despite the fact that it was a budget title, it was delayed. I'm pretty sure the development started in 2004 and it didn't come out till 2010, and the game still looks super dated and still was really confused. It managed to get a PS3 remaster, and now, 7 years after its release, we have a board game? What? So, admittedly, when I saw that they were going to be announcing a Kickstarter, I couldn't help but get super excited, thinking that maybe a sequel would be would be made. I mean, Sweary himself has expressed that he would love to do more, but simply he just doesn't own the character. Rising Star Games owns it, which made it even more fascinating when I saw that Rising Star Games was going to be launching a Kickstarter. But lo and behold, they launched a board game for Deadly Premonition. At first, I admit, I was definitely a little disappointed, but, you know, there's something to be said, there's something to reflect on that, and I think what's so amazing is that in a day, it was funded, $50,000 was funded. That is so impressive. It gets me excited. But, you know, I can't help but think what the success would have been like if another game was announced. Of course, $130,000 is most likely not enough to make a sequel, but I can't help but wonder how successful Kickstarter would have been if, you know, Rising Star Games announced they were going to do a sequel with Swery directing it. I don't know. That's what I would have liked, but I can't help but see the greatness that this kind of budget title, Twin Peaks ripoff, still manages to have an audience that really cares about it. But I think it's incredible that Rising Star Games is continuing to at least try and push this franchise in their own way. I think this is a very safe approach to building upon the Deadly Premonition world. To those of you who do not know about this stuff, everything will be in the description. I'll have videos to Deadly Premonition on Steam, even though I hear the PC build is a total mess, so approach with caution. I'll have a link to the Kickstarter. Now again, to make it clear, there's no correlation between me and the Kickstarter. I just saw the Kickstarter and I got excited, and it was just a good opportunity to talk about something that I love because of it. And if you haven't done it yet, please subscribe. Thank you so much. Have a good day.